Why, hello there. If you haven't noticed, it's been quite a while since I've uploaded. I've just been taking a small break from YouTube for a little bit, but don't worry because I'm back in business. Now, if you couldn't already tell from all the spooky atmosphere, I'm going to be talking about something that used to scare the ever-loving crap out of me when I was a little child. Creepypastas are short little horror stories that people have been making since 2008, and they used to be extremely popular back in the good old days of the internet. In fact, some of them were so popular that they would even get their own big-budget Hollywood subpar films made out of them. But nowadays, people barely ever talk about them anymore. And whenever they do, they usually talk about them in a negative light. And since Halloween's almost here, I thought I would try and find out what happened to creepypastas. So grab a blanket, some popcorn, and some holy water, because things are about to get spooky. So the first major flaw we can see in creepypastas is that most of them have the same exact story. A guy finds a creepy video game, movie, or some other third thing, decides to take it home, and the scary ghost demon appears and kills him or something. Now this story can work maybe the first, second, or even third time, but after a while, this can become so cliche that it makes you want to slam your head through your monitor. But I think that's what makes creepypastas charming, because you know most of these stories are being written by random people with a passion to create something, even if they don't have a lot of experience. And that's not to say there aren't some amazing creepypastas out there, my personal favorite being the Russian sleep experiment. It's just that the more mediocre ones definitely outshadow the good ones. But of course, since I was still just a little child, it didn't matter how bad they were, they would still scare the shit out of me. That's right, when I was about 9 to 10 years old, I used to be obsessed with these things. I used to watch all the Let's Players, listen to all the stories. Because remember, when you're a gullible little kid, everything on the internet must be true. And because of that universal law, I could sometimes not go to sleep in fear of Sonic.exe haunting me. And it got even worse when I found out about SCPs. The fact that there could potentially be thousands of monsters that all have the same goal of killing every human they see, all locked up in one facility where they could all easily escape, that's terrifying to think of as a little kid. I was literally thinking about the mortality of the human race at the age of 9, and that wasn't even my biggest obsession with creepypastas. Ever heard of Slender Man? Arguably one of the most popular creepypastas ever made. You know, he's the one with that shitty movie that came out 3 years too late. He's also the one that made those 2 girls kill their best friend. Yeah, that's Slender Man. That creepypasta was the thing that got me hooked as a kid. I remember watching a bunch of Let's Players play Slender the Arrival, and then having to sleep with all the lights on in the house. And then like a few years later, once everybody forgot about Slender Man, Sony made that god-awful movie. Alright, just a little side rant real quick. I actually watched that movie in the theaters when it came out, and I'm not gonna lie, I found more entertainment watching the previews before the movie started than the actual movie. I mean, they didn't even try to follow the original premise. Okay, side rant over. So there were also a bunch of other popular creepypastas. You had Jeff the Killer, and The Rake, and Eyeless Jack, etc. But after more and more creepypastas started to come out, they all just kind of felt the same. And also, like I said earlier in the video, it also didn't help that all the really bad creepypastas overshadowed the good ones. And it's mostly those 2 things to blame for creepypastas dying. So I thought the best way to end this video is to pay my tribute to the creepypastas that made me the way I am today. So get comfy, because I'm about to read to you the Hungry Bones Creepypasta. It was a dark and stormy night as I was walking home from my local Walgreens when I saw a VHS tape randomly left on the side of the road. I went to pick it up for literally no reason, and I saw a note on it saying, "Do not watch this or else you'll die." After reading that, I did as anyone else would do and brought it home and put it in my VHS player, which I just have lying around in 2021. When I turned it on, I saw a skeleton dressed in military clothing with big goggles on his head. "What a fucking ugly character," I said out loud in my empty house. But there was another thing that popped up on the screen. There were giant words on the screen that appeared to say, "Hulu sucks." After watching the tape for a while, I started to get hungry, so I went to the kitchen for some broken glass to munch on. But when I came back, I only saw static on the TV. After shooting my television with my trusty .44 Magnum, all of a sudden, that stupid-looking skeleton guy was staring at me through the TV. All of a sudden, hyper-realistic ketchup started pouring through his eye holes. Then, I heard a voice coming from the TV. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel or else. This shocked me so much, I pissed in my goofy goober underwear. I threw the VHS out of my window into my neighbor's yard. But when I finally thought it was over, I looked at my hands and the VHS tape was still there. What do you want from me? I asked politely. I'm just a small little baby boy. Suddenly, I heard a voice from above. I will haunt you forever until you subscribe. Hello? Is this God? I asked. Fuck you, the voice said softly. I looked at the back of the tape to see the words Hungry Bones on it. That must be the name of the YouTube channel, I thought with a thought bubble above my head. I quickly shuffled my little toes up my stairs to get to my computer, but when I was about to end the curse and have the credits roll, I see something pop up that made me scream in terror. Windows is updating, please wait. And to make matters worse, I heard big-ass footsteps coming from the stairs getting closer. You took too long. Now you perish. I was slamming every key on the keyboard, but it wasn't going any faster. And then, the power went out.